Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Break Free for your Monkey Mind podcast, season 2, episode 12. I cannot believe it's here already. So this is the last episode of series 2, but we'll be back with season 3 in January. Trying to think what to think to finish off this good. This has been a great season. The last 11 episodes have been a lot of soul searching and a lot of different subjects. Starting off great with Dave Heffernan. I think such an inspiring individual, and everything he's gone through in life, what he has faced in life, and where he is now. I had a few other guests that really stuck out for me. Leslie, Phoenix rising from the ashes, from what she's been through as well, what she's achieved is incredible. And Jane, through so much in her life, but the way she's turned everything around is an inspiration to everybody else. But what got me was a lot of things that I'd looked at. I wanted to find something that was really great to finish off this one, to show that it doesn't matter what you've been through, that show an emotion or something that we could actually look and say, yeah, I feel great with that. So the obvious one that came to mind was happiness. And this morning I had a client, and out of a conversation we were talking, she said something about happiness. She went, well, I said, how does that invoke in you? What kind of feelings do you get when you know, so you identify, I'm happy. And she said, happiness is fleeting. And it made me think, and I said to her, well, yeah, I suppose it's, she said, well, everybody thinks you've got to be happy all the time and happiness is there all the time, but it's not really. Happiness seems to be always something we're searching for. It always seems to be an aim, or we're trying to get to, or things we do in life because we want to be happy. So what actually is happiness? And why does it seem so elusive to people? So I looked up definition. Definition of happiness is feeling of showing pleasure or contentment, or it's when life fulfills your needs. So it doesn't sound as though it's very difficult to find. So why do so many people not find happiness? Why do they spend their life searching for happiness? So the second one got me, when your life fulfills your needs. But my needs are different from yours. Yours are different from the next person. Next person different from theirs. We're all different. We all have different and varying needs. They're not always the same, and they're fluid. They're not always the same at the same time in life. They change throughout our life. And that made me think what she said this morning about being fleeting. It's true. As your life changes, maybe the happiness fluctuates for you. For example, our needs can be defined by our home life, so our family life, how we were raised by our parents, with our siblings, or our extended family, whatever. But you also learn from gained experiences when you go to school, you leave school, you start work, or go to college, university. And as you progress through life, and as you grow through life, then your experiences also grow with you. Your needs also grow because they change. Maybe you've had a family, so your needs change for that, because needs then don't necessarily all become you or your partner or wife or husband, whoever. They become children or the whole family as a whole. So that can change. So if you look at that, it's quite complex actually to describe what happiness is generally like for people. However, by having our own needs, this means that we're not like anybody else, like I said. So does that mean we're all unique? So does that make us happy knowing that we are different, we are unique from anybody else, we're special? Or does it mean you feel awkward or ill at ease because you're unique, as in you're not like anyone else? Again, it can be taken from both ways. I was recently reading something. It's a site, happiness site, I think it's happiness.org or something. And I've read quite a few things, and I read a lot of the newsletters they send out, and there are a lot of really good things. I've used it throughout these podcasts. But I loved one I saw recently, and it was about happiness. There was an acronym that they use called We Promise. 2 words, we and promise, which to them explains how overlapping needs can all be used to elicit happiness. So the W stood for well-being. Now, for me, being what I do for a living, then that meant a lot to me, because it's so true. To be happy, I keep saying to people, it says 2 things in there, but I think there's actually 3 that I've discovered more lately. There's the mind, there's body, and there's spiritual. Now, we have all aspects of each of them, and when they're all in balance, we are happy. But take one of them out. So someone who is a spiritual person, and if they have a crisis in their spirituality because something has happened in life, losing a loved one or a relationship that ends or something happens to them, they're out of sync and they never feel happy. Yet you've got 2 of the other parts still there, the mind and body. Again, if your spiritual side's fine and your body feels good, but your mind is not right through mental health or mental illness, it could just be you're having a bad day, but you don't feel right either. Again, the same, if your mind's okay and your spirit's okay, but your body feels tired, maybe you've got a cold, a flu, a bug, COVID, whatever, the aspects of your physical body drain you, and that affects your mood, which can affect your spirituality and vice versa. So actually your well-being needs all of that to be connected. So maybe that's why some people don't always feel happy all the time, because one of those things is out of sync. Your environment, the external factors that can impact you, where you live, food that you eat, where you get the food, if you've got freedom, is the weather good? Is it all living in Scotland? That's quite difficult for us. It's usually miserable, wet and cold. Not all year, there's usually 1 or 2 days a year it isn't. But beauty, being at home, all these things impact your environment. And if they're all good, you feel happy. Pleasure. Sometimes we can look for happiness in temporary pleasures, such as joy, sex, love, eating. Go back to all that, food. They can all make people feel happy. Your relationships make you happy or can bring you down. As social species, we're not really meant to be alone. We are, as human beings, we are a complex issue with that, but we do thrive better when we're with other people than we sometimes do on their own. Not saying people can't survive on their own, but they can thrive more. And that's what my client said today, that they actually find if they're with a group or working a group, they'll do more than they would on their own. And that really stuck with me. It's true. We seem happier in relationships than we are on our own. We're happy. I don't just mean really as in within an internal family. I mean friends, colleagues, whatever. When you've got people around you, COVID took a lot of that away from people. So a lot of those people had issues, still have, because of the isolation, because of no physical contact, not being able to be near other people. And they're searching for happiness again because they've got a new environment with the new relationships through Zoom, through Google Teams, whatever it is. They're having to build these relationships which are different from what they need. So they're seeking the happiness in that, but it's doing it in a different way. How we have an outlook in life. It's like, how you approach the world through, I don't know, being adventurous, curiosity, making plans, what you want to do, what you're going to do. You can even become happy just thinking of these things, because even you reflect, if it's something you've done before, and you think of a great restaurant you went to, or a great holiday place you went, or the people you went with, even music. Do you remember the songs that were there when you done it? You smile, don't you? You start get that warm feeling inside when you look at that. That's happiness. The meaning of our life. What is our purpose? And do we actually understand what our purpose is and the wisdom to know what it is? Do we know what we're trying to get to, what we're striving for? Because when you know that, you feel happy because you've got your whole place mapped out. It doesn't mean it's going to be a straight road. It might take corners, it might go backwards, go forward, whatever, left to right. But you know ultimately what you're aiming to do. So as long as you've got that purpose in life or that aim in life, then you'll be happy because you know you're working towards something. Involvement, again, the eye on that takes me back to relationships. They say it's to be happy, you have to be engaged and actively involved. If you do that, you could do that on your own, doesn't it? Involvement doesn't have to mean with other people when you do that side. If it's some sort of sport thing you like to do yourself and you like to challenge yourself with, golf can be a great one like that. I played golf and you could go out on your own around. You didn't need people running about, but you've got that challenge of being totally focused, engaged in it and trying to beat your own score. So you do it in a lot of other sports, but that's something that keeps you going, is that involvement. And I know if I did that, I feel happy. Success always makes people happy. The confirmation from yourself or from others that you've got value, you're worth something. So celebrating that success is an amazing feeling, and that exudes happiness from you. You just elicit that happy feeling inside, comes through your whole body, and anybody looking at you can tell how happy you feel when you've achieved something. But not what's great is elasticity. How you recover from life's inevitable negative events. I did a episode recently on resilience. That's a great example of that. How we bounce back, and that term I loved when I heard it out, bounce back ability, puts a smile on my face every time I see it. It's such a great term, but it shows what we can do. As humans, we are great at bouncing back. We don't let things go. We keep at it and keep going. That's brilliant. And that makes you happy. That determination can make you happy because you're not letting go some. You will get there. But that saying we're always in search of happiness, that's like that. Because you know it's there and it's like the journey to get that. That's your destination, is the happiness, but enjoy the journey and the way there. So there's so many things that can provide us with happiness. But if that's true, why do we hear people saying all the things like I said, I wish I was happy today? Or how can I make you happy? Because you don't look very happy today, so how can I make you happy? That's quite a difficult thing to someone else, because it's only ultimately them that knows what makes them happy in the first place, but we still try and do it. Some great example quotes that I'd read on it. One was by Wayne Dwyer. Happiness is something that you are, and it comes from the way you think. So again, it's true with positive outlook, people say, so it's comes something that you are. So if you are someone who has a positive outlook in life, you're more than likely to be happy. If you're someone who's always saying, what if this goes wrong, or if that will go wrong, you're not going to be happy. So again, that is a choice that we have. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. That's by Dennis Waitley. That's a great one as well. I said earlier, some people really rely on the spiritual side to keep them going. It's something that's so important to them. So if they do that with love, grace, and gratitude, they feel great, so they'll feel happy. Oscar Levant said, happiness is not something you experience, it's something you remember. I thought that was quite a good one. Like I just said a moment ago, when I think, and I was describing that, some examples to you, and I said about holidays, it put a smile on my face, because I can remember some great times when I've been away and how I've enjoyed them, the weather, the place, everything about it, who I was with. That makes you happy. And that's true. It might not necessarily be the experience itself, but I know every time I think back on that, it's a great thought for me. It keeps me happy. So I know whenever I feel a little bit down, I can think of that, and that builds me back up again. All in all then, from reading all of this or looking into it all, what I did realize is happiness is a decision. Your happiness is your decision to make, not someone else will want to make you happy. You have to decide you want to be. And if we do that and you work harder enough, all these things say, if you're trying to work towards that, you will feel happy, because you're aiming at that. And when you achieve it, it's unbelievable. You'll exude, or everybody will know when you've got that success and you've found that happiness, but only you know how to do it. Something I loved when I was reading those quotes was one special one, and it's from Mahatma Gandhi. And he said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are all in harmony. And to me, that's it. It's like a little trinity. We have to say that we want to be happy. We have to think we want to be happy. And then we have to show that action. And that lets other people see as well as ourselves we're happy. You put the three of them together, like mind, body, and spirit. If they're all there together, the cohesion between them makes us happy. So it's like, if you believe in religion, a Holy Trinity, you could say with that. So that's something to look out for. Trying to make sure that you do the best you can in life with that is to make sure, look after your body, look after your mind, and your spirit will be looked after happy. If you do the rest of them, that will fall into place. Always do that for yourself. And that's what I loved, because he also said something that was really great. He said, if you want to change the world, it starts with yourself. So if you want people to be happy, and you say that to people, you need to start doing it yourself. And it's amazing how contagious it will be. When you smile and you walk past a stranger on the street and you smile at them, they'll smile back. They don't always know why, but they'll do it. When you laugh, someone will laugh with you. They're not actually laughing at you, they're laughing with you, but they don't always know why. And I keep saying this to people. If you get up every morning and the first thing you do is smile, that starts your day off great. The serotonin, the endorphins, all these chemicals that are released in your mind sets you up for that day. So it's not that difficult to try and be happy by starting off a day smiling. I have clients that have this silly thing, but I get them to put a little post-it thing either on the system or like a sticky one. So every day when they walk to the computer, they smile. I had one client took it a stage further. He's done his screensaver. And the screensaver comes up every day with smiles. And every week he changes it. So it's a different one. So he doesn't get bored with it. He's got different smiles that come up. In fact, sure, one the other day it was the Joker out of Batman. I thought it was quite a sort of scary looking thing, but to him, it's still a smile. It made him happy. And he does it all the time. And I couldn't ask for more. Someone who smiles all the time that is making themselves happy, but also infecting other people with that happiness. So what decision are you going to make now? What decision are you going to make today to make you happy? And ultimately make those round about you happy as well. And that's something really to think about. And since this is the last episode of January, the happiness gave me a thought as well to finish this off today. I usually say take care of yourselves, take care of your family, take care of yourself, and I'll speak to you next time. But it made me think of the word happiness. So many people send it out over the next few weeks because of whatever you want to call it, Christmas, holidays, whatever the term you want to use. But we say have a happy holiday or happy Christmas. We actually say to people, have that happiness. And this is the one time a year when people say you can do that. Find that in yourself to be that spirit, that happy person, because let everybody else to feel it. There's so much going on in the world over the last couple of years. We need people to be happy. We need people to go out there and just smile and enjoy these holidays. Enjoy your Christmas. Whatever it is to you, really enjoy that over the next few weeks with the people you love and the people that love you. And that happiness will stay there all the time. And it'll get something. When you do that and you feel that great, stop for a few seconds. Feel that and let that emotion build up inside you. Let it build as quick as you can and feel it, how great it can get. And when you do that, do a little thing for me. I say most people, because you know, if you're left-handed, then do it with your right hand. If you're right-handed, do it with your left. Is your index finger and your thumb. When you feel that happen, you can feel it that go through your face, your whole heart, squeeze for 20 seconds or so and keep that emotion there. And just keep it and keep it as emotions. You feel happy, press that. And then every time you feel a wee bit down in the day, do that wee sign. Put your thumb there, squeeze it, and put that in your nail to that index finger into it. And that will bring a memory back of that great feeling of happiness you had. So each time you're down, do that and you'll feel better. And everybody else will feel better around you because you are. So that's all for this season. Thank you so much for all the support over it, for the emails as well that I've had from people asking for things on it. I'm looking for the same for next season. I will be back in January. So if there's anything you want me to discuss in and around mental health at all, or even just if people want to come on and talk about what they've achieved, I've got hopefully a special guest coming on for the first one, someone who's redesigned my artwork for the Breaking Free from Your Monkey Mind as well. So I'm hoping she's still going to come on, but I'll leave it to speak to her. If she is, you'll find that out and see in episode 1 of season 3, and that'll be the first week in January. So take care of yourself, everybody. Take care of all your family as well. I hope you all, whatever you want to call it, Christmas, holidays, whatever, have a happy, brilliant, fantastic time and really enjoy it. And I'll see you all again in January. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.